Come and fly away with me. 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 Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die. So come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. Somewhere by the Emerald Sea, where the moon and water meet. Somewhere close to harmony, when the world is sound asleep. Something's gonna bring the change, journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die. So come and fly, come and fly.
Hi guys, what's up Brandon? What's up Justin Trudeau? What's up Billy Bob? Oh man, I've been kind of tired today. I got a nice steak to cook after this, so I'm probably not going to be on for a ton of time, but hopefully we'll get through some stuff. A steak and some red meat. What's up, Antonio? Oh yeah, Brandon. You probably had a lot more energy too. Yeah, I've done that a few times. It takes a few days to really adapt to it, but well, I mean, at least like taking a carbs. Like, I mean, you do need some carbs. I don't think it's good to be like long term, like no carbs, just all beef or whatever. But if you do it for like a week once in a while, I think it really definitely helps your gut. A little bit of adaptation in the beginning. I mean, it's tough because especially if you like, you know, socially too, like going out with people a lot and stuff. I mean, because it's just our diets are just so bad overall. But yeah, I've been eating awful because I was, you know, in Daytona for a bit. So yeah. Anyway, guys, let's get into this. This analysis. Got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, for obvious reasons. Did a video earlier. I want you guys to, you know, wanted to come on here, do a live, you know, interact with some of you guys, because I love you guys. And yeah, I mean, let's take a look here. So let's get into the, I mean, I want to start with, I just want to take a quick look at like the real big ones, like the monthly. Okay, we've had the VWAP. It's been above the zero line for a good amount. Trying to come back down. I mean, it'd be a bit comparable to over here. You know, a bit comparable to 2019. That's probably the most that we could compare it to here. And as it comes down, you'd probably get, you know, a drop down into towards the end of the year or whatever. Let's see this. So just like that. And yeah, I also want to look at the 3-week. Let's just go take our time here a little bit. Coming down with the VWAP, you may get, this could probably not a blood diamond, but that's going to be a nice trigger wave potentially if you do kind of come generally, keep coming down, generally for the next few months. And yeah, this one's coming down as well in the 2-week. The 16-day too, I like to keep my eye on that as well, because that was a good period to kind of get. This is like, I mean, obviously you're not catching the exact bottom, buying right there, but that's like, it was such a good place, you know what I mean? Because if you were buying in like summer of 2020, I mean, you were just you were straight up, you know what I mean? You just went straight up, like you didn't have to wait. That's kind of a get rich quick kind of. Like, I mean, you got to think too, like, I mean, maybe it won't play out as well this next time, but, you get in and then it just goes right up like that. I mean, that was like get in and get out. I mean, that was a 600%. I mean, especially for some of you big ballers that, for some of us that really believe in it long term, if you were to throw, as none of us ever financial advice, but, if I was to throw 100 grand in over there, I mean, you could do the math. You wouldn't have been a millionaire with that, but nice return. Let's see. So let's move on to, I mean, the 7-8 day or whatever, split RSIs in the 8-day that's coming down. I want to see the highest time frame currently that is giving us a red dot. Okay, so on regular candles, the 12-day is the 2-week. No, not yet on regular. They do usually appear first on regular. So 12-day red dot. Similar to this, I mean, that's probably the most comparable. It was a bit higher here, and then he came down a good amount. So, like I've been saying, a lot of things would compare you to kind of back here to that area. Now, if we move on to, the weekly here, money flow is trying to come into the green. That's kind of acting as resistance more than anything, and your gapped RSIs are kind of, what's giving you the case to come down here. And then if you come on to the, 2-day here, obviously, these weren't really the best short signals because this, it came up, but then it came back down. That was, it waited a little while to play out. This one was a nice buy signal. This one, too, was theoretically, I mean, you came down a little, I remember this. You came down a little bit lower after confirmed, I believe, but then it just came up, nice buy signal. It's been a while since one really gave us what we needed like that. Also, like this could be comparable. Look at that money flow, too. Very comparable to kind of what happened back here. So that's definitely something that we should keep our eyes on. Let's remove this one and just look at, I think this is, I mean, that's kind of early for us to come down back to 20K or whatever by August. But I think if you do get a summer lull, if things do get kind of ugly over the summer, I can see you coming back to that general area. Now, what I want to do also is put on our 300 weekly moving average, estimate where that would be. Okay, so that would be a bit below it. 20K is probably where you would hit that at potentially. So yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. And then if we turn this off, let's see here. Money flow kind of coming down there. 4-hour could easily bring us down lower in the short term based on that. However, what we're looking at too is like, you're very close to that high volume area low. If you draw out another, let's draw this out again here. It's a little bit, we didn't quite hit it, but that area is pretty big where we kind of bounced off of a second ago. Well, a little longer than a second ago, but you get the point. Money flow coming up on here. Should you take this long? I don't know. I mean, if you were to try this long, this area would be probably a good place to lock in some profits, 27.8. And we did come down a good amount, so it does kind of make sense. Yeah, it does kind of make sense. And that's what I'm looking at in Bitcoin right now. Also, some of these low time frames, 6 minutes, trying to come up. Money flow generally coming up. So it does look a little bit stronger. I mean, 2-hour, bull div. I mean, that confirms in an hour. See what happens with that. Potentially could bring us higher. Short term, it looks like you probably would have a little bit of relief here. Macro would give us most likely a trajectory downward, especially with this money flow on the 2-day. Just like that money flow back there, that was when you were just headed straight down. Also right there, generally down. So that's what we gotta keep an eye on. ETH, blood diamond on the daily right here. That's going to confirm in an hour. That very likely will confirm. ETH stands kind of in the same way, waiting for that kind of 12-day money flow to come into the red to start DCAing into ETH, start that DCA. Also waiting for a next red dot to confirm. I have a feeling that this would be down significantly by the time both of those things happen, which could be a good thing unless you FOMO'd in at the top. So, yeah. 16-hour looks pretty bad. 12-hour looks pretty bad as well. Money flow coming out. We're hitting a high volume node, high volume area right now. We're getting a nice bounce off of that, similar to what we're seeing on Bitcoin. Not quite a bull div on the 2-hour, but you're going to see a bull div on the hourly. That's coming up. And yeah, money flow coming up right there. Yeah. Money flow coming up in 16. 4-hour VWAP kind of coming up as well. It does seem like there could be a bit more, short-term potential. If you were to do something of this nature, where would we estimate this to be? Somewhere up here, 1870 potentially. And by the way, guys, if you guys are interested in the exclusive Discord, a link down below. Me and 2 other fantastic analysts, Atlanticor and Crypto Bull Zone, bringing you some amazing exclusive TA trade setups and entries and all that good stuff. Never financial advice though, but a really good community. Check it out down below. The link is down below. And yeah, so yeah, that bounce off of there, that's obviously thing to keep your eye on. I mean, it's generally the same thing with Bitcoin too. Is generally you're forming that kind of, head and shoulders, or it's probably best to see on like the 12-hour, or maybe the 8-hour. Yeah, this head and shoulders right here. Your technical target would be, somewhere. If you were to break down from this, somewhere around here, right around there, 24 something. So that's assuming we just, fall through the 200 weekly. I think we might for some reason. Price just does not respect that point as much as it used to. I still think it's pretty bearish if we lose that, though. So that would kind of, mean we got more months of winter. It's like the groundhog gets scared, goes back, and I forget what it is with Groundhog Day, but, it's the case where you got 6 more weeks of winter or whatever. You keep going down. Let's look at the chat a little bit. What are you guys talking about? Did you eat all beef? 24, yeah. Fruit butter. Yeah, people do it, like Dr. Sean Baker. They say it could be bad to avoid all carbs, I think you should do honey or something, with it, or some fruit or something. Long term, it could be bad. I don't know, though. But I feel like it would definitely help my energy levels. Let's see. Peppy body. Yeah, we got to look at Peppy, definitely. 28.5. Yeah, so Peppy's probably getting a decent bounce. Somewhat. What I would warn you guys about right now is if we look at Doge and if we look at Doge and Shiba after their peak, it came. Let's just look at this, guys. I mean, it came down 55%, or even here was 75%, and then it had to bump up, but it never got back to those all-time highs. You know what I mean? Like if you really look at this, like you came down a ton. And then in that candlestick, you did come up. Let's see what this jump was. I mean, that was 65%. So it can jump around, but according to that analysis, unless this one's different, I mean, it's probably never. I don't know if it's ever going to make another all-time high. Doesn't look like it in that perspective. I'm sure there will be short squeezes. I'm sure stuff could happen here, but I don't know if you're going to get back to that all-time high. I mean, we had, because this crashed 65% so far, and now you're coming back up. I mean, you're probably up 30 there. I could see this area as being, I think it's going to start to become more of a slow mover, bore a lot of people away. If you're going to be getting something with this, it's going to take longer. So, yeah. And then all the other meme coins, I think some of them could probably pump up a little bit more. I think we're generally done. Nothing is usually ever the next, whenever everybody says something's going to be the next thing, it usually never is. Typically, that's kind of what happened. It usually never is the next thing we're expecting it to be. So that's what we got to worry about. I mean, Some of these guys that people are looking at are ARB. This is finally back down. Maybe get a jump here, but I think you may have more pain ahead, especially this guy too. Bear div coming down, render. These are ones people have been talking about a little bit. This looks so bearish. I think generally, if we look at Doge too on like the high, I'm just looking at this market overall, like a lot of things here that we should keep an eye on. I mean, let me turn back on Market Cipher A here. I mean, it doesn't take an expert to realize that this Market Cipher basic strategy would not give you something too good. I mean, obviously back here, because of Elon and all that, he came up in the bull run, he came up, but I don't think this time is going to be as forgiving. Shiba kind of, if we look at the 2-week maybe on Shiba, yeah, not enough data there, but yeah, this one's weird. I don't know. Almost that wouldn't be a reverse head and shoulders, kind of a triple bottom, I guess. Yeah, the regulation and all that may be what kind of ends the meme coins forever, because once you really regulate it and only like VCs and accredited investors could get into some of these really new things, I don't think the meme coins are going to be, they're not going to have an interest in the meme coins. I mean, there's maybe some stuff does it, but I don't know. It's not, I think Pepe could be the last one before regulation kind of stops all this nonsense. I have no idea why Adam was on trending Twitter search. But, Adam's one of them. I was looking at it on Debate Crypto. I was on Debate Crypto earlier today. I was looking at this guy, and, it does seem like with the weekly, you could come deeper in the red, potentially come down a lot in the next, 6 months or so. And maybe less, maybe a little bit more. But, yeah, I think once you get down, because if you think Adam could hit 100, I think it may has a good shot of hitting 100 in the next bull run. Something of this nature, 20x from those points, I think it's possible. I think it's absolutely possible. If you form somewhat of a double bottom over there, that is absolutely possible. So that's Adam right there. That's trigger wave on Solana coming down right there. Trigger wave right there. Split RSIs. And I know I've been saying it a while, and this has done nothing, been flat, but I think it's going to break downward. ETH, Bitcoin, this has shown a little bit of strength, a little jump because of, all the meme coins, but I think that's going to finally, kind of really come down a bit, hit this point at least. I think this would be the minimum I would be waiting to get into, start converting some Bitcoin over to ETH and really getting into ETH. Bitcoin dominance as well. What I want to show you guys, this is important to look at. Bitcoin dominance, what I want to look at here, Bitcoin dominance is, so 2 areas. One, if it's kind of like market crashes like May of 21, this is potentially what you could see. Something maybe not this high. Probably, I don't know if we're going to come up to 58 that quick, but technical target is at the high 50s there. This area right here is going to be huge. 53, 54% dominance. That's the place I think is going to be the magic place to start DCing into alts now. Let's also compare it to back June, July of 2019. This is when Bitcoin kind of peaked out in 2019. Money flow is the same too. Let's just look at that trajectory right there. I mean, it's probably not going to be this crazy, but I mean, it could be something if you were to do this from here. That could be what we're looking at, 55, see right there. And this is going to, once you see a significant pullback, this most likely will continue forward. This area, obviously, like this area from August 2019 all the way to like, let's say, end of 2020, essentially. Well, you were a little late, end of 2020 was a little late to get into alts, but essentially like, this was August 2019 to, if you want DCA in for 10 months or something, May, June, 8 to 10 months, this is your golden place right here. This is your golden place. And then you would have done very well, obviously. You would have done very well. Like, let's say if you DCA'd into, from September 19, or let's say August 19 to June of 2020. So August, so that's minus June, July. That's 10 months. Let's say you did from, it was June or it was, yeah, August 2019. August 2019. Forgive me, I'm a little tired. Uh, 10 months there. Let's just look at it for ETH, let's say. It was August 19 to June of 2020. Average buy-in would have been around, let's say, 182 or something. What kind of gain would you have gotten? Let's say you held on to it until today or whatever. You never sold. That's a nice 10x. You know, you had plenty of places to get out of this at a 10x. With diminished returns and all that, maybe you could expect with ETH 5x, 6x, I don't know. Something of that nature, depending, probably at least a 3 or 4x in the next bull run if you were to do the same thing. That's what I would expect. Maybe more. Maybe definitely potentially more. Let's say you did it with I don't know, something a lot of people knew about. I don't know. Well, Cardano. Let's say you did that with Cardano. And let's say you bought, it was August of 2019. Let's go on the weekly, I guess. Yeah, August of 2019 all the way to, yeah, June, August 2019. So your average buy-in price probably would have been around, I don't know, 3 cents, 4 cents, somewhere around here. I mean, okay, worse than ETH. But, I mean, if you knew to get out here, look at those gains. Oh, man. I mean, even here, it's a 30x. So, I mean, you're probably not going to get those again, obviously, with Cardano. But you could probably, if we do, come back up to, well, I mean, if we were going to go back to, I don't know how low we're going to go, but maybe average buying at 18, you come back up to all-time highs, 10x or something. Potentially. I think Atom may give you better results. Atom, that's realistic gains. The Chainlink 2 could be one. Chainlink 2, let's look at. Chainlink's obviously pretty interesting. Well, let's look at if you were to, yeah, August 19, that area, if you were to buy there. Okay, 20x. Now you wouldn't be up much, all the way back down, but maybe you got an average buy-in price, at $3 or $4, and then we go up to, I don't know, maybe we make a new all-time high. Who knows? 25x potentially. So yeah, Donkey Punch. Right now I wouldn't buy it, but if you come down to these levels, and I mean, the thing with altcoins that a lot of people don't really understand too much is I'm buying at least 10 of these, maybe even 20, maybe even 30. You got to spread it around. Some are going to go to zero, but other ones are going to do better and give you some good gains. So yeah, but right now, I do think this is going to go down further. Trigger wave on the 2 week. I do think this is going to go down further. But yeah. So let's take a look at this. DXY as well is, I don't know this one's weird. I mean, you got the yellow X on the 3-day. If we pump up, this could go away. You're getting the double bottom here. I do think this is going to be a big place, $98 for a potential jump. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. I couldn't tell you right now. Weekly's interesting. Still may get that, bull div pretty soon. I hope you do. So this could jump up a bit. So yeah. Yeah, spread altcoin speculation over multiple coins, 100%, man, 100%. I think a lot of the Matic too, potentially, if you're patient enough with Matic. I mean, I'm curious what that's been doing. Yeah, not probably the worst altcoin, as I've been saying. Recently, just getting destroyed. Curious about BNB as well. This is, yeah. I think this eventually will come down. We're seeing that big ascending wedge. You're taking targets there. We'll see what happens. The market cipher SR was interesting on this. Hold on a second. Let me see something here. Those other points of support and resistance weren't showing up. Oh well. Anyway, I do think it will come down within the next 3 to 6 months potentially. Strong. Let's see. Theta and Strong. I haven't heard anybody talk about Strong for a long time, man. Is it this one? Yeah. Oof. Man, that chart looks weird. So your all-time high was October 21, like everything. Excuse me. Oh my God, bro. I've never seen anything come back after being down that much, man. I think Cardano was 98% in the last bear market, 99.7. Oh man. I don't think I've seen anything come back from being down this low. I mean, anything's possible. I've never seen anything. I mean, what's the market cap on this right now? This seems like completely dead. Um, Unless I'm looking at the wrong thing. Um, Theta is probably still, yeah, this is much, just at face value is much better, 94, 95. This isn't much different than a lot of other altcoins. Um, this could be one that I would keep on my radar a little bit. If you do, say you do something of this nature, into next few months, you crash down farther, 25 cents potentially. What would that drop down be? There's your 98, similar to Cardano in the last bear market. That could be a place to give it a shot. That could absolutely be a place to give it a shot. We'll see what happens with this. I haven't heard too many people talk about this. This one's all-time high was in April, which is kind of, I feel like that's not the best sign because a lot of other things made new all-time highs in October. Doesn't mean it'll go to zero, but that's not a good sign. I remember people talking about this. Somebody was telling me this was going to go 10x when it was at the, basically the exact high. Somebody was telling me to get in. It's going 10x, 200, or they said it was going, I don't know what they said it was going to, maybe $100 or something there. And then obviously the opposite happened. I don't know too much about the fundamentals on this. It could be one that I would, put an amount in, give it a shot if it does get in the right place. What's up, Accurate Components? What's up, Donkey Punch? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have been in the game for a while, it does feel a lot like May of 2021 just replaced Pepe with Doge. A lot of this jump could be like new people that got into crypto on a lot of this rally up since January. That could be what a lot of this jump is. I don't think too many of the OGs really, influence this too much. So yeah. Also, Bitcoin, I mean, I don't know if, yeah, because this is kind of like split our size. It's kind of like it wants to roll over. And then if we come into more of that bearish environment, it's just not going to be how it was. It's just not going to be how it was, and we will continue downward. I want to take a look at traditional markets a little bit here. And by the way, guys, shout out to Crypto Bull Zone. Check him out. Amazing analyst in my Discord. If you guys want to see his analysis, join the exclusive Discord, link down below through Patreon. You guys are going to love it. I think we're bringing you a lot of good content in there. A lot of amazing trade setups, and I think we're going to help you out a lot in there. So check it out. Obviously, nobody's right all the time, though. Not financial advice. Landacor, too. Both of them were on the channel the other day. Both great guys, great people. So, yeah. Let's see here. What's up, Tax Partners? Thank you so much, man. Accumulation. So, I think the best accumulation is DCA and Bitcoin. We're getting close to the ETH accumulation area when I want to start accumulating that. We're not quite there yet, but we'll be there pretty soon, I think. Oh man, so post market is up a little bit on this. Okay, yeah. S&P 500, yeah, man. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. Like, this has just been, like sideways, just so flat the last, like generally, like the average price on this is just, let's see where the volume even is on this, like, yeah, generally where we are now, that's big volume where we are right now, because that's the middle point, I think. Yeah, and up there, 380 is big, but let's just see, like, we've been generally sideways, generally flat for, for a year now. Let's just look historically how long something could kind of, October 18 to, yeah, essentially here, that was a year of just a general kind of, that sideways. That went even longer, yeah, October 19. Well, a little over a year, and then he jumped up. He broke upward. Here was, let's see, December 17 to, that was under a year. Well, you could even, even argue that other than this drop down, December 17 to, that was 2 years. So yeah, it could be 2 years before breaking up or breaking down. And then here was, yeah, I mean, 15 to, that was a year and a half even, yeah. This thing could be, because it jumps down, it goes down, but then it don't stay down long. It just comes right back up. Here was a sideways, yeah, to a certain extent, but it don't, you know, I could see it. I mean, maybe, maybe one more time coming back down, then coming back up, but then you got to break up one way or the other. You know what I mean? And I think as, you know, as the economy feels the interest rate hikes, the more things like that happen, this should come down. Most likely will come down, I think. So yeah, and let's see here. So I'm looking at there. Let's look at the NASDAQ as well. Take a little bit here, double top potentially, and yeah. That's gradually been coming up. Yeah, it's still coming up a little bit more there. A 2 week though, overall money flow coming out doesn't look too good. Maybe we could come a little bit higher with this. If the DXY comes down, it's kind of dependent on what the DXY does. If that comes down a little bit more, then I think that bounces at 99. This bounces at double top 13 something, potentially. Curious about the SQQQ here. I think that's forming a double bottom. Could be right. I mean, this is going to be obviously risky, but it's the leveraged short fund that's down so much. But yeah, I mean, that's potential double bottom there, and then to come up, maybe. I'm thinking we'll come back to these areas at some point. Yeah, hard to say if Bitcoin's going to come up in the short term. It seems likely that it can, but you know, the environment is changing. It could just, let's jump up. You know what I mean? It could just come right back down and mess around with that. So I'd watch out for there. Do you have the snake eyes on the 3 hour? I mean, right here, look at that. That was a oof. Because you got those snake eyes and you just, you know what I mean? That don't mean too much. Let's see, so that was that. Let's look at, this was the leveraged silver fund. And this has been showing some more strength here, making a new high, which is what I like. I've held this one for a good amount, done pretty well with this. Yeah, since September. I mean, what is silver itself at? Regular silver. 25.6, pretty good. I mean, I think gold and silver will come down, especially with this kind of over the summer. You know, if you do see the summer lull, kind of with everything else with traditional markets as well. But I think, you know, I think they're going to outperform the S&P 500 for years to come, 3 to 5 years. Some of that market cap could be taken by crypto, though, so it may be, you know, more anticlimactic than what we're used to, but still think it's going to do well. But, you know, 2 week short term, to get that big bearish div, I mean, I think that triple top could bring us back down to 18 something. I mean, this thing stays kind of stagnant, flat for a while at times. So yeah. Let's take a look at Bitcoin in the short term. Some more. Yeah, you do have the jump there, bull div on the 2 hour. This thing too, like the 10-minute, you know, 10 minute with the 3. And I mean, you are kind of hitting the high volume area low. Like I redrew it, the new one's kind of slightly below here, so it could come up a little bit more potentially. So yeah, I wanted to look at a few of the, like what they're talking about on the, this is interesting, approval ratings record low. That's surprising considering the S&P 500 isn't down too bad. Wow. That's interesting there. So it's kind of the toss-up, the same. DeSantis and Trump. I don't know how true. I didn't realize they approve it. 36% is freaking low. Trump 39, Carter 37. I mean, it's even lower than Carter. That would be whoever goes against him is going to blow him out theoretically. But the country's more divided than it was back then, so still think it would be close. Close, but if you guys have been hearing what I'm saying, I think Trump's got a good shot here. That's interesting. Hmm. He's been doing rallies, which I wonder what'll happen. It's kind of like history repeats itself too. So like you remember Carter, there was a Kennedy that tried to primary Carter and got some attention. It's kind of like that almost. You know what I mean? Just the Kennedy name. It's kind of like that. Um, so yeah, I'll see you, Brandon. It's kind of like that. Just the Kennedy name. He could give. I don't know. It's weird. Like, and then if it's like, it's probably not going to be as like, yeah, if Trump goes back against, it's like history. Yeah, history rhymes. Oh yeah, is it tomorrow the inflation data comes out, or I think it's Wednesday? I believe it's Wednesday the CPI data comes out. What do you say? Extraordinary period. That's the thing too. Things get ugly when you can't print money anymore. This is like the best clickbait ever. Go things that drain your energy. Let's see. Let's see here. I wanted to look at, let's look at Lucid. I mean, people have been talking about how this, not doing too well. Potential double bottom here from the kind of, where was, oh man, that volatility is nuts. December lows all the way back down. Do a 2-week bull div. We'll see if this could last through the recession. Like everything else, if this could be around sometime in early 2024. I mean, what's it down from its all-time speculative high or whatever? 87, down 90%. Let's look at Tesla here. That trajectory downward. Getting a little jump here, yeah. I'm gonna look at the Dow Jones. Is that still? That's if you want to look at something that's been kind of sideways, yeah. That's just been. I mean, I'm curious about the money flow comparative to. That money flow is at the exact place there in 08, and then money flow, very similar to that area, very sideways for a while, and then bam, broke downward. Could be something like that coming. I mean, my kind of guess is, I mean, it could take a while before this really bottoms out. Ah, man, what do I think about MicroStrategy? I mean, we all know it generally follows Bitcoin for obvious reasons. Take a look at this. Coming up just like what we'd expect. Split RSI is coming down. Looks pretty similar to Bitcoin at first glance. It's kind of in that range too. If you go on the weekly here, that's a double top pattern. I think what we want to do is kind of wait till this gets deeper in the red, kind of back here, and that's the place to DCA into this, or wait for that next red dot to confirm. Now, if you have a 10-month DCA strategy, maybe now is the time to start. I mean, we obviously know this is going to generally follow Bitcoin. What was this jump up if you were to buy this in? Yeah, you were rewarded because did better in Bitcoin because that was, you were kind of, I don't think, Saylor was around, but he wasn't as popular until like later 2020 or early 2021. what was this jump? Yeah, it's a more volatile kind of version of Bitcoin. I mean, that was 90. Yeah. Uh, if you could make a lower low, you might come to 115 potentially into the end of year, early next year. That could be the place to scoop some up, I think, potentially. Um, we don't know what's gonna. He may. That's the thing too, because I know BitBoy was saying that he may sell some at the like once we go into the next bull run and take some profits. That might even help MicroStrategy kind of make it act like a hedge fund almost. You know what I mean? So it could be a really good thing to look to get into. Would not be buying it at the moment right now though. I mean, if we look at trend reversal sign, I mean right there, there. He could be like this, man. Could be recessionary. So yeah. Also, I wanted to look at coin. I believe no, it's not a crypto. The company, it is up a bit. Yeah, I do think that blood diamond that confirms in 10 days now. A 2-week blood diamond. Yeah, it takes a while for his crap to confirm, but I think it will generally follow Bitcoin downward. See what happens with that. That was tax loss harvesting Donkey Punch, I believe. I think they bought it right back. What's happening right now here? 10 minutes, money flow coming up. Got some of these VWAPs coming up as well. You might have a little bit more relief in the short term, I think. Cope. So you think? What do you think, Donkey Punch? Where's Bitcoin going? 3K, 8K. Some of you guys are really bearish. I mean, there's enough people you find out. You'll hear every scenario, but yeah. I think a double bottom is pretty likely. Around 16K or something. A lower low at 13K is also pretty likely. I think it's less likely that we'd visit 10 or 9K, but anything could happen. We gotta talk about that when the time comes. So yeah, I don't even know what the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is at. 15K is way more likely than 35K right now. I think so. Yeah, based on the charts. Yeah, 100%, man. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things look pretty bearish. 12-day money flow coming out, VWAP coming down. I mean, that's as bearish as possible. It takes time for these things to play out, but yeah. Got the Bitcoin conference, coming up as well. What's that, on the 18th? I'll be there. I'm pretty excited for that. So yeah. $13K by the end of the year, that's end of summer. Yeah, I think, that would be an early, maybe Bitcoin bottoms before traditional markets, which I think it did in COVID, and I think it did in maybe even 2018. I'm trying to remember, but typically it does bottom before traditional markets, I think. And, maybe if Bitcoin bottoms at the end of the summer, maybe traditional markets don't bottom until later this year, early next year. We'll see what happens. I mean, we could get, maybe a hybrid between like '08 and '01 where, it's been kind of sideways for traditional markets now, but then they crash hard into the summer and into the end of the year. They get hit hard, potentially. I don't know, though. Very hard to say. Curious about Meta. I mean, is that still coming up? Yeah, still nothing too bad. Man, it's almost like that double. These RSIs are getting, yeah. I would think double top pattern, but you're still not in the green on the 2-week. I mean, it's going to be a big point. People are saying, I think it's hard to say. I think he'll come down a good amount. This is like one of those ones that get hit so hard. So it's like, some people are saying, you're not going to make a lower low. Anything's possible. Maybe you just jump off 100, maybe even higher. I don't know. I want to look at Amazon a little bit. It's kind of just waiting for this. Is getting a little, trend reversal right there. Showing a little bit of strength. That's a big doji candle or whatever, big rejection wick. Kind of like there. We'll see what happens with this. Could get a trigger wave on that 2-week. Maybe a blood diamond there. Basically, that was the buy signal, but it could be more like that in 04 potentially. Yeah. And you're still in that, yeah, still in that cone, that wedge. I wonder when it was this taken recently. He looks good for his age, Buffett. I mean, he's in his 90s. He looks pretty good for his age. What are people saying on the Twitter? Let's see. Curious about the reasoning here.
I do plan on flipping later this year. You know, while most people and influencers were running away from the markets, I was standing out in the snow saying, hey, this winter will end. And I'm even more bullish right now. And the debt ceiling is a single variable holding the markets back right now. McCarthy and the president are going to be meeting Tuesday. We don't know how that will pan out. However, the probability of the debt ceiling being raised is very high. But back to why 2024 will be so bad. Please hit the like and save button. Thanks. The number one reason 2024 will be so bad is credit cards. Remember in November of 2022, and credit card utilization spiked massively? And keep in mind that most Americans are going broke, with nearly 65%, I've seen some estimates up to 73%, are living paycheck to paycheck. Most of those credit cards' APRs come to fruition in 15 months. That means they're going to start getting hit with those APRs around March 2024. But remember, the markets are
So yeah, that's typical of what happens in recessions. Yeah, the consumer debt really high. If it is 2024, I mean, it could be before then. I mean, we can't predict that completely, but yeah, I think what he's saying definitely makes a lot of sense there. Shout out to the crypto weatherman. Curious on these Nebula, yeah. Let's look at more of the short term. Could roll over here. We'll see what happens. Hard to kind of say. I mean, you got the bull div. I'm just not seeing. I mean, ETH would be a little bit more enticing because, yeah, you hit a big area. I mean, perfectly. You hit that area. Not a bull div, but I mean, we getting something on the 3. Yeah, I mean, VWAP's coming up there. Could be. Yeah. I mean, if we were to kind of use this type of trade. Let's see here. So yeah, if you were to FOMO into the long, yeah, something like that. Maybe, I mean, that risk reward ratio, you're about to hit that point, so you'd probably come down. Maybe try to enter over here. That wouldn't be too bad if you were trying to come up a little bit higher. I don't know if that would even happen though. So it was a pretty big jump though. I mean, if you look at the kind of the environment, yeah, there could be a triple top bottom potentially. Anyway, guys, it's been on about 50 minutes now. I think I'm gonna get off. Anyway, guys, check out if you want to trade 0 limit fees with my link on MEXC, link down below. Check it out. Let's see what else there is. Check out the premium Discord. We have an excellent community there. Me and 2 other fantastic analysts are in there, bringing you a lot of great content. We're not going to keep these prices this low forever. And also my trading course, discount code BEARMARKET20. Check it out, 20% off. I think it's going to help you guys out a lot. A lot of people really liked it. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye. Subscribe if you're new. Smash the like button.